how about showing some damn appreciation for your parents instead of constantly putting them down like they don't understand what you've been through? Poor Manon. Here we go again with the controlling nature of these relationships. Who won't let their boyfriend have any friends whatsoever? Who gets drunk at a family gathering? And who is not satisfied with any home that is presented to them to live in? There are so many needy people in this show, it is ridiculous, and yet no one is satisfied. But before we get to all that, make sure you comment, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, share with all your friends. Thank you so much for all the support. Let's get right into it. Oh, you gotta love the French bakery. And no, they did not do the berets and the striped shirts. Playing right into the stereotype. I guess she feels like she can get away with it, but that's hilarious. Gotta love it. And for someone who claims they hate to be back in France, it's even more hilarious. So, point to you, Manon.
I know chocolat.
Huh? Chocolat croissant?
Cat.
Faux chocolat?
Right?
She is standing back and he's doing all this.
Mini beignet.
You know, I gotta say, she wanted him to learn French so bad and said, you need to learn the language. He's doing pretty good. Like, I can't imagine learning another language is hard enough, let alone one like French that just seems particularly hard. And yet he's holding his own and she's looking at the side like, I'm gonna show you. And he's actually like doing it. So good for him. Power to him for that one.
No, jouer, it's having an orgasm.
What?
Jouer.
That's what I said.
No, you said jouer.
It's like, jouer is having an orgasm. Jouer is to play on the playground. I'm like, okay, listen, you can't tell a guy. Look, I'm sorry, but it's funny. It's funny humor. If you tell him that orgasm is jouer and playing on the playground is jouer, then you know what's going to happen? Every time it's going to be jouer because it's hilarious. It's so similar, and yet one means orgasm. So, yeah, he should absolutely use that in every sentence now.
For doing it for Manon, but
Okay.
as long as we're not practicing, I'm good.
Okay, so he goes on to say that he's against them doing the baptism because he's not religious. He believes the institution of religion is usually used for people to hide behind bad deeds, which, yeah, there's bad actors in everything you do, but to just say the institution as a whole is used for that is kind of crazy, but to each their own. The crazier part here is him saying, you know what, I don't believe any of this. I think it's crazy, but I'm going to do it because if that's what she wants to do and we're not practicing. If you're getting a baptism, then on some level you're practicing. So you're basically saying, I'm going to have some cope because I know she's going to do it anyway. So I'm going to say X, Y, and Z to make myself feel better when I know that I have no control over this. That's basically where he's at.
Jonathan doesn't even drink.
Okay.
And I myself, I don't want to say I'm an avid drinker.
I don't want to say I'm an avid drinker, but I can only have fun when I drink. And he says, look, we couldn't be more different when we have fun. He doesn't even drink. You should be thankful for that. It is hard to find a person who doesn't at least drink on some level. Now, there's nothing wrong with drinking if that's what, you have some drinks when you're out with some friends. There's no criticism there. Do your thing. Me personally, I don't drink. Y'all know this, recovering addict. I don't drink. So it is what it is. I never really liked drinking anyway, so it's not really that big of a loss for me, but it's cool. Now, I don't care if people are drinking around me. It's like, do your thing, have fun, whatever. I will say that one bonus of being the person that doesn't drink, if you are around people drinking, it is hilarious watching drunk people act like freaking idiots and call them such the next day or during it or whatever, because people make damn fools out of themselves when they're drinking if they don't know how to have a limit, have a few drinks, whatever. And a lot of people don't know how to do that. So there is a bonus to that, but her acting like it's a problem that he doesn't drink is kind of crazy.
Helpful.
I know,
and fun.
I view it as that you don't trust me.
If it's making you feel better, just let it be.
What?
Yeah, what do you think?
So he's basically saying, we went and spied on you. He's saying, I want you to trust me. The whole crux of this is that he cheated on her. That's what she keeps saying. But never bringing up the fact that there were at least some problematic text messages with other men in her phone, which he brought up too. So obviously she was doing some things as well, but that's never brought up. It's only what he did. Now, none of it's right if you cheated, although there was some speculation on whether they weren't together or not. So it's kind of, the waters are kind of muddled here. But either way, she's saying that basically, oh, I'm going to do what I want. I don't trust you. He's saying, trust me. This is heading towards a collision of epic proportions.
No, I stand on business. You have to stand on business with people or they walk over you. You should.
I got to stand on business. You would know what it's like if I was angry. Like, she is really going hard because the friend is kind of like, this lady's crazy. But the funny part about this is she's saying, you would know if I was being aggressive. I imagine that if she was getting aggressive, it would probably be a lot of shrieking and flailing about. all in a very small package. So it'd be like the Tasmanian devil rolling around there is what the blonde Tasmanian devil. You know, I think that's probably what the bleached out Tasmanian devil, if you will, is what her craziness would look like.
I always try to be like nice and easy with her because I have a hard personality. Also, I can be an asshole too. But she's an asshole.
See, this guy's funny. He's basically saying that I have a hard personality. I understand her personality, so I'm trying to be soft because she can be an a-hole. But I can be an a-hole too, so I get it. But she is definitely an a-hole. This guy's kind of funny, but also going to cause problems in their relationship because he's not going to take her bossing anyone around. He's going to basically tell her to shut up. And so, yeah, that's going to lead to some controversy for sure.
My trust issues come from your actions, but you work with him.
You know, the funny thing about this, I want to point out, she was talking about that the problem with his job was the girls with dental floss, you know, basically talking about girls with a G-string, thongs, thong bikinis, whatever, jumping on his back, doing the whole show where he's climbing up with them, all that stuff they talked about. I find that funny because she has this big problem with this, but her friend is sitting right there, titties out, right in front of him, and she has no problem with this. Now, nothing wrong with what she's wearing. It's the beached atmosphere. She's wearing a bathing suit. But I just think it's kind of funny and hypocritical how she has no problem with this when she has a problem with any girl being on this booze cruise boat. Now, to her logic, she's probably thinking, this is my friend. She's never going to do anything like that to me. Oh, give me a break. Have you seen some of these trifling friends on these shows? Probably would. But I digress on that. It's just funny and hypocritical how she's got a problem with one, but not the other. So maybe consistency?
An issue with him going out with you, then he's not going to go out with you.
Exactly. That's something that you have to do.
I want to go out with my friend. Okay? You can't control me like that. You can't
Look at that. So she's basically saying, if I don't want him to go out with you, he's not going to go out with you. And he comes in like, well, if I want to go out with my friend, I'm going to go out with my friend. And the epic controlling aspect of her really comes out.
Respect me. Respect what I say.
There it is. Respect me. Respect what I effing say. Basically saying, if I say something, you better do it. This is not how a relationship works. Saying, you better do what I say, and you don't respect me if you don't. That's not how it works. Compromise, sure. You want to come into some terms with the fact that, oh, your friend has actually caused you to potentially cheat, and that is why my problem with him. This has not been the case. What she has said is they went out before they were together, and they used to bring girls home. Okay, well, he was single at that time. I don't agree with just sleeping with anybody. I think that's wrong. But at the same time, if he was single and that's what he wanted to do, then he can do that. He's not single now, and there's no indication that his friend has led him astray. But you're making it seem like he has because of your insecurities, and now you're trying to assert your control. This is going to head to a really bad place really quickly. Look at this house before.
That's coming out.
So he renovated this house so they could live in a place.
It's a house. That's got to count for something, right?
I would say so. Now watch this. Watch when they walk in. This is kind of impressive.
Oh my.
I wish I knew how to remodel houses and do this kind of stuff like this guy did. Now, is it saying for necessarily that he did the work? I don't know. He's making it seem like he did it. Either way, that's a hell of a long way they came. I mean, take a look at it again. That's crazy. It looked just dirty and down and ran down and everything before. So good for him. And this is something he tried to do all this so they could have a place to live. So you would think she'd be thankful for this. And overall, I think she was on some level, but it didn't take her long to want more.
We're polar opposites. I like to keep things simple, but Patia prefers a more luxurious lifestyle.
Now, polar opposites, he likes to keep things simple. She likes a more luxurious lifestyle. This could be bad, or it could be okay, depending on how they handle it. It could be bad if neither one is willing to compromise. It could be bad if only one is willing to compromise. If they are both willing to compromise on how they see things, his cleanliness and her wanting to be like high dollar, then they could make it work. If they are not, if she's not willing to budge, which probably will be the case, then it's not going to last, because you can't have a relationship where you're so different and there's no compromise. It can work, but there has to be work on both parts and compromise.
I'm very independent. I don't like to be told what to do, and he does that to me. We haven't been together.
He wasn't telling, so this was all based on food. What happened was he was making his food saying, I like to eat specific things. He tries to keep up with his diet. If you know anything about diet, you know that once you really get into fitness and and if you're trying to keep your body up and keep a certain body fat, you really got to focus on macronutrients and all those kind of things, calories, carbs, fats, and how much you take in and all that. You can take it to a whole nother level, which is what he does, but if he likes that, he does. He wasn't trying to control it. He was saying, after she said, I like to cook, he said, well, if you're going to cook, this is the certain things I like, which is a certain amount of protein and everything. He can make that for himself. He was just mentioning, if you want to cook, then this is the kind of things I like. I'm sure he's willing to make his food separately. I do that a lot. Make my food separately because I'm going to eat chicken or broccoli or something that my wife may not want. And that's fine. There's no problem with that. But it's not a controlling thing if you're saying, you want to cook, I like these certain things. I cook my food separately if I need to. No problem there. But she's trying to make it seem like she's going to be controlled. And that is just not the case as of yet. Maybe that changes.
Who's living here?
This is good. This could be a nice functional area.
This house could be a really good stepping stone for us.
So he took her out to basically look at houses. This is the first one they looked at. A nice big house, actually, kind of surprising where they're living at. And so you'd think that she would be pleased with what he was doing, trying to make an effort to get them out of his parents' house, which was her biggest complaint. She didn't want to live in his parents' house. She wanted to have a place of their own. You may be wrong about that.
I think it would make an excellent kids' bedroom as well. Having like 2 little twin beds here. What do you think, Greta?
Now, take that into account, because he basically said, like, talking about all the rooms there, came in there, he said, yeah, there's, this could make a good kids' bedroom. There could be 2 twin beds here. Well, they took that and ran with it, saying twins. That's not what he said. He said 2 twin beds. But either way, he's just making a comment like, oh, this would be nice to have this. She freaks out and starts getting all in her head. This lady has got some serious problems with getting all up in her head for absolutely no reason. Something that is not even a factor right now is freaking her out.
Because I've become really unsure if I want kids.
That is a conversation that you need to have. So she basically said, him saying, oh, having 2 kids, that's not what he said. He said 2 twin beds. Now, you're making an assumption. Maybe it's true, but that's not what he said. Either way, she's saying put a rock in her stomach because she doesn't know if she wants kids. Okay, well, this is something you need to talk about. You're wanting to get married. You're both wanting to spend your life together. Y'all need to have a conversation of whether you're going to have kids or not, whether both of you want kids, whether you don't, whatever it is. If a guy wants kids or if a girl wants kids, these are conversations you need to have, because if the other one doesn't, then that needs to be a hard conversation to have, whether you're going to carry on or there's going to be that compromise. Children is a tough compromise, because if one person wants kids and the other doesn't, then someone's going to have to give, and that person that wants kids may be giving up a lot if they have to make that compromise. So these are tough conversations. So she needs to not carry this on and saying she's unsure. She needs to have that conversation now. So if they're going to go their separate ways, they can before they get involved in renting a house and doing all the other things that come along with this relationship.
I am feeling really overwhelmed.
I don't mind.
Her problem, and this is hilarious because she had this whole problem with staying in his parents' house. Now that he's taking her to other places to kind of see about a place to live, she is feeling very overwhelmed. You know why? It's because she wanted to live in the city. She wanted a specific thing. She wanted a city flat. She wanted to be able to walk to coffee, walk to the grocery store. She said this. Well, that's not what you said to begin with. You said that you wanted a place to live and you wanted to get out of his parents' house. And now you're not willing to compromise at all. It's either your way or the highway, and that's the problem. There seems to be no compromise with her. Now, she will say she moved over there, but that's your decision. You're still starting your life together. You don't get credit points for moving over there and saying, okay, well, it's going to be my way for a while because I moved over here. You made that decision. You need to come together as a couple to make decisions.
Pretty certain about our future, but I just don't think I'm in a place to be moving into a house in the middle of nowhere with the sun.
You're not in the middle of nowhere. You're in a place that could be driven 5 to 10 minutes to the middle of town. That's what he said. You want to be able to walk, and to you, that's the middle of nowhere. The middle of nowhere is not being able to drive anywhere for 45 minutes before you can get to the Walmart in town. That's the middle of nowhere. I know because I have family members who live in the middle of nowhere, and I grew up around that. I used to love being around the small town because it's fun when you could walk in this little small town to the place to get a milkshake at the pharmacy and everything. Oh, I loved it. It's called Tartan West in North Carolina. Loved it, loved it, loved it. But it's not for everybody, and I didn't live there. I probably wouldn't have liked it if I lived there, just visiting. So I understand that, but at the same time, what he's talking about is not a small town. That's just, you just can't walk to the store.
Everything is so good, like my sausage thing I had.
You mean your own sausage?
Listen, her family's around. He's like, look how uncomfortable he is because she's talking about his, I'm sorry, I'm quoting, sorry, my camera's off, his sausage.
This thing I got at the boulangerie.
I haven't had the chance to taste your own sausage for like 2 months.
It's like, good Lord, stop. And then, she's like, well, and so this is clearly, she's starting to get intoxicated. So she's starting to drink and she's starting to just be a little friendly and open with what she's saying. But he points out, he's like, yeah, don't be saying that. What are you doing? She's like, they only speak French. And she's like, your sister doesn't. And then look at the sister just staring at him over there. She's like, yeah, oh, I know what you're saying. Stop being so dirty. Oh, she's starting to break down. Oh yeah, her parents sound like awful people who start to beat up on her whole life, talking about what a great success she did. She's not a failure. Everything's great. Well, they seem pretty positive to me now. So if they were pretty bad when she was growing up, they sure did a 180 because I've only seen positive things from her parents currently. I think she was over-exaggerating the craziness she dealt with, trying to be the victim, as I've said from day one.
My parents, they never went to high school. They've never moved abroad. They don't realize how hard it is coming back to France.
So this is her logic. My parents never went, left out of high school, went to any other school. They never moved abroad. They don't understand how hard it is. Oh, your parents who couldn't have enough money or whatever. Now, maybe they didn't want to travel abroad, but she makes it seem like they couldn't. Never was a certain success level to travel abroad, but made it work, made you be the powerful person you think you are today, the success you think you are today, to be able to go to America, but poor them, right? They don't understand you. How about they sacrificed for you? How about showing some damn appreciation for your parents instead of constantly putting them down like they don't understand what you've been through? Poor Mahanon, always crying about what she's been through. Epic victim right here. Good Lord. All right, so now, okay, a kiss. No, come on. She's like full blown. You don't do that in front of the family. A peck is fine, but you're gonna full blown make out in front of your family. You need to. She needs to put down the wine. Stop drinking that wine with a straw. That's what she needs to do.
Is that okay? I'm not intruding or anything?
No, that's great.
All right, I'll be there.
Now notice how his mom called, asked if it's okay if she stops by. He looks at Patia and she shakes, nods yes, and then says, "Yeah, that's okay."
All right, can't wait to see you.
Okay, can't wait to see you too either. Bye.
First thing.
Coming now. I don't want to look like this.
First thing when they get off the phone is, why is she coming now? I don't want to look like this. He's like, I looked at you and he even asked for if it was okay. And she said yes. And now you're going to complain about it? Yeah, this is going to be a not so great relationship as they continue to live together, especially once they start buying stuff for the house. She is definitely going to be a nightmare.
They're both playing a game of who could be the nicest.
Thank you so much.
He's like, yes, please continue to play this game of who can be the nicest, because the most I want to see is who can be the nicest, not who can tear each other's eyes out.
About my finances, I'm like, it's none of her.
Now, that is true. His mom should have nothing to do with her finances, because she did point out that, like, oh, you're going to be okay with, because she was pointing out furniture and stuff she wanted to buy. So, sure, the mom shouldn't be involved in that, and that's his fault for even telling his mom what was going on with that. But Patia does have a spending problem, which is going to cause problems in the relationship. And we'll see how she copes with it now.
To stop talking about our personal business with his mom. I'm so damn sick of it.
I don't disagree with that. I think him running to his mom every time there's an issue is a problem. You need to be able to work out things in your own relationship. So I do agree with her there. Although I think she overblows a lot of stuff, this one I tend to agree with.
No,
Well, that's because I had
then you went out and dropped a huge shopping spree.
Oh.
And now you're saying that you've changed. And that was like a week ago.
So she's changed so much. Look at that face. That says it all. She's like, I don't know what to respond with now. So he basically points out that she did a huge shopping spree and then said she's changed, but this was like a week ago. Now he's probably over exaggerating. But what he means is near or not that long ago. And she's like, oh, okay, but I don't need that now. That's her excuse. I don't need that now because I'm here. I'm like, it's like an addict. It's, you haven't worked on it. You just said you're done. Maybe it lasts you a little while white-knuckling it, but unless you figure out a purpose, that doesn't mean necessarily meetings or anything like that, but unless you figure out a reason, a way to change, something to occupy you, something to get you in thinking of different things other than what was the problem, then nothing's changed. Now, for her right now, maybe it's him. That's not going to last.
It's not the same as if he's risking the same.
It is kind of the same. If you put a balance, it is kind of the same.
Pause. What is he risking? Ready? Go ahead. I'll wait.
How about his freedom, you crazy lady? So she's doing the whole thing of, I moved here just like Greta, just like Patia. All of them are going to do this. I moved here. So basically, I should have never-ending credit of what I can say or do, and you should listen to me on everything because I moved here and you didn't sacrifice anything. Well, how about the fact that he has no freedom now because you immediately came in and said, you're not going to hang out with your friends, you're not going to do this, and I'm going to be watching you 24/7. So there's that. So her saying, I'll wait. No, it's easy. Freedom. He's sacrificing his freedom. I'd say that's even more than you moving, considering the fact that you can run back to mommy for $100,000 a year. So, yeah, does she really not have any self-awareness whatsoever? Now, it shouldn't be downplayed that someone moved to another country. That is huge. But it doesn't mean that the other person just has it roses all the time. It's just all cupcakes and rainbows for them. No, it's difficult too for other reasons. So why don't you get over yourself and start acting like you're in a relationship instead of it's just the you show?
You're not gaining anything with me?
But I am, but you're not losing as much as I'm losing.
See? How about his job when you make him quit because you're constantly stalking and you think he's doing something wrong? I can name he's losing all kinds of things potentially if you continue down this road, because you're going to tell him to quit his job, everything will be okay, and then he's going to do it because he's going to be tired of you saying something, and he's not going to really have a job. Then he's going to potentially lose everything while you run back to mommy because she'll be waiting for you with a place to stay and a $100,000 job. So yeah, I'd say he's got some stuff on the line.
My anxiety is through the roof every day because I'm so nervous that he's going to just break my trust again.
Yeah, that's a you problem. If you are so nervous and have so much anxiety because you're afraid he's going to break your trust, this is not a relationship you be in. This toxicness that you have should not be a thing. You're basically going to make him change you and acquiesce to you, start causing him problems because you're so nervous inside for no reason as of yet. Because the only thing you have is what he did with some other girl allegedly, while y'all may or may not have been on a break, while you were texting other guys too. So maybe y'all both have issues, but either you accept a trust and you try to move on, or you leave. Because right now it sounds like to me that it's going to be nothing but toxic if you try to find that middle balance for you, because it's not really a balance. It's just you freaking out and telling him he needs to change his whole life. Needless to say, the madness we see in all of this is nothing short of amazing. You gotta love it because it's crazy, but you also have non-stop non-trusting of everybody. You also have relationships that are just gonna implode. You have people who are drinking, getting into confrontations at family events. You have people who are not trusting and spying on other people. And then you have people who can't decide where they want to live because it's not good enough, because it's not what they want. There is no compromise in any of these people, which is why none of these relationships are going to really last, or if they do, it's only going to be for like an outside look of positivity, because inside there's going to be misery in those relationships. So this should be interesting as we go forward in this season. Thank you for joining me. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, share with your friends. I will see y'all next time.